Hello everyone, and welcome to Zer for week number 30. He's had a couple of good weeks in a row. A couple of good ones, and a mediocre one was pretty inevitable. At the bottom, we have Pulse Rifle, Fusion Rifle, and Rocket Launcher telemetries. Level up those weapons faster. We have Plasma Drive and Emerald Coil for those rare blue quality sparrows. And we have heavy ammo synthesis, 5 for a strange coin. Titans, you get the Glass House. Have not seen this in a while. 118 intellect is a pretty good stat roll, and the side bonuses are very good. More super energy when you get a grenade kill, and increased melee attack speed. The main bonus leaves a bit more to be desired, though. Increased duration on blessing and weapons of light buffs. I don't think it's better than the other top tier exotics that Titans have access to. Saint 14, Armamentarium, Ruin Wings. The bonus isn't bad, but it's not good enough to compete with those others if you have them. There's never a time where I would want that bonus in particular, the Glasshouse bonus, over other bonuses. Most of the time, it's not really that difficult to refresh your buff with Ward of Dawn anyway, especially in Crota's End. The side bonuses do stand on their own, and so does the intellect, but if you have any top tier exotics for Titans, the ones that I mentioned earlier, I don't think you need this. Hunters get Don't Touch Me. Stat roll is pretty bad, only capping out at 83 discipline. The non-main bonuses are great. Faster reload with special weapons and more PvE super energy for kills, so it does stand well on its own. The main bonus turns you invisible when you're hit by a melee attack. Now this is great for the Abyss encounter in Crota's End, but it's situational beyond that. It's an insurance exotic. It's there for defensive purposes, not offensive purposes. If you're someone who does a lot of raiding with a lot of coins to spare, I think you should pick these up. They're also a pretty good first exotic, although the stat roll is a little lacking. They're definitely more of a buy than a pass, but versus something like Mask of the Third Man, if we're going to reference Blade Dancers because they're the only people who can get stealth, I would say that Mask of the Third Man probably wins if you're comfortable with the game and don't feel like you need any insurance for PvE. PvP, I don't think these are a terribly strong pick because the invisibility bonus kind of falls flat. Warlocks, it's your old pal Sunbreakers. Also a pretty poor stat roll at 85 intellect. Increased reload speed with special weapons is great. Melee hits replenishing grenade energy, not as much, but is at least still viable. The main bonus increases duration of your solar grenade, which is not the best. It's not terrible. It's really good for zoning. It can lend a hand in any situations where you need some time to recover. You just drop a solar grenade, you can stand at it, and you can be safe for a little bit. Would I use them over Obsidian Mind for PvE? Absolutely not. I don't see many solar grenades in PvP either. It's more Firebolt or Fusion Grenade for you Sunsingers. They're low to mid tier, they can be offensive, they can be defensive. I don't think they're an urgent buy, and I really don't know many people who use these things. The weapon of the week is Dragon's Breath. The bonuses aren't awful. 3 rockets in the chamber, and a solar flare is left on the ground where the rocket explodes. It's a cool bonus. However, the velocity is painfully slow, and let's face facts, this is not better than G-Horn for PvE or Truth for PvP. It's just not. It is just outclassed, plain and simple. You don't really need this if you have G-Horn or Truth. Even if you don't have either, I don't think the effect is powerful enough to warrant using over an exotic primary weapon. It's situational at best, and if you're still looking for your first exotic weapon, you can skip on Dragon's Breath. Exotic Chest is the Engram of the week. Those looking for Armamentarium, Praxic Fire, Lucky Raspberry, you guys should go gamble. Armor upgrades. Hunters, you have the Symbiote. That's bad juju. Hunters, you have the Symbiote with a very high 127 discipline stat roll, and Lucky Raspberry with a little below average 130 intellect roll. I think priority goes to the Symbiote, at least for PvE. PvP kind of depends on what you use. Titans get the Crest with a high 159 stat roll, and no backup plans with a pretty low 86 strength. I don't think I've ever seen these things with a good stat roll, side note, ever. Never seen them. Don't know what it is. They just never really get a good roll. Never over 100. Anyway, Crest probably gets your priority here. Warlocks get Apotheosis Veil with a little below average 100 discipline and a whopping 86 intellect on the Sunbreakers. That is one more intellect higher than the ones being sold right now. What a steal. Priority goes to whatever you use more, but the Veil is a very, very good Crota Helm if you are still looking for one. Weapon upgrades. We have an exotic bounty weapon party up in here. We have Bad Juju, Mida, Thorn, Patience and Time, Thunderlord, and Super Good Advice. 3 of the 5 bounty weapons. Nothing too urgent, though, in the PvE category. Thunderlord, Bad Juju, Patience and Time, and Mida are pretty up there, with Thorn kind of being in the middle, and Super Good Advice at the bottom. PvP-wise, you'll want to upgrade that Thorn with the Quickness, followed by Patience and Time and Mida. Bad Juju a little underneath that, and then the Heavy Machine Guns. I feel like if you're using an exotic heavy in PvP, it's probably one of the rocket launchers. Also a friendly reminder that attack values do not matter in regular Crucible, but they do matter for Iron Banner, and it's always good to be prepared. That is your Xur for week 30. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.